Hey folks, Würfel here. Today we wanna finish our polishing here. Sorry that I'm so late for the second part here now. Got some trouble with the sanding, so this is still what you saw from the first part. 4 of the faces are at 3000 grit finish. I messed up on one of the other faces, so I reordered them and started over, but this will be our practice piece. And I got 2 things that I want to test before I start working on higher grids. First thing is Flitz polish. I got a lot of recommendations online that a lot of people send to about 2.5 to 3000 grit and then use Flitz to finish it up. For that I also got the Microfibregloth, also the original from Flitz, just to be sure that everything is like it should be. And on the other hand, I got a polishing paste that's especially for resins. For this is an abrasive polishing media. You need a sponge disc, or in this kind it says a fell disc, but I don't have good experience with the fell disc, so the sponge disc works pretty good, and for that I use my cordless drill. So we will test both of them. So let's start with some Flitz. This, by the way, is non-toxic, so you don't need gloves or anything, as far as I saw from the data sheet here. But yeah, I just don't like to have the wet hands and all that stuff. So let's try how this is. I will take the faces 9 and 8 for Flitz, and the opposite sides I will do the polishing. So I have no idea how much I need. I just do what I feel right for this and what I know how such things work. You just apply a little bit, and then in small circular motion you polish the surface. For the start I will use only the number 8, so I have a little bit of a comparison to the other side. I really don't know how much force it needs. I just apply gently pressure here, and then take a cleaner part. Wow, I didn't thought it would be that good. So this is number 9, just barely touched with a little bit of the material because it was so much that I put on the glove. And now you see the 8. Damn, that's definitely amazing how good this works. And you see how fast it was. I really can't believe how easy that is. I think with a little bit more, so I don't think the camera will catch it, I can see some tiny scratches here and there. Maybe from the previous sanding, maybe just a corner that I didn't get. So I will take a second round here. A little bit more pressure now. And by the way, I don't have any clue how Flitz works because it's non-abrasive, non-toxic, non-solvent. So I really don't know what it does. Maybe it works a little bit like a filler, so you fill up tiny cracks and all the sanding marks and all that stuff, and it hardens. I really have no idea how this works. And there we have a shiny, nice surface. Look at that. And it's still pretty flat and even. You see there's There's just a tiny little bit of bending in the surface. Oh no, it's just a reflection. Okay, so definitely what I hear from the internet, 3000 grit and then some Flitz. Yeah, definitely worth. And you see I just used a teeny tiny bit. Let's see if that is enough to continue on the other side. I don't know how fresh and wet it needs to be. Maybe if it dries a little bit, it still works. We will see here. Wow, that's so fast and so good. I really can't believe it. So that stuff's not cheap, but it's worth every penny. Okay, so that could be the part here, and we are done. Also, the edges are still nice and sharp. Just it's a little bit broken, but I think every polishing will do this. So that's something I can live with. So from my feeling here, these edges here from the sanding are still a little bit sharper, but that's still, I think that's a good usable sharpness, because you don't want to have them razor sharp, because the sharper the edges are, the more fragile they are. So I think a little tiny teeny radius here is pretty good, and it's even, the edge is still straight, and that's great. Okay, so now we continue with the polishing paste. So it's in this pump bottle. It's a white creamy stuff. I think maybe some toothpaste will work the same way, or any cleaner that has some abrasives in it. I go with that and start slowly rotating it. And the good thing here is you have a flat surface, and then you can apply even pressure on the whole surface. I'm not sure what happens to the edges, but we will see. Be gentle with such a rotary tool, because it can be easy to overdo it, to have a little bit too much pressure, and then you ruin your edges and all that stuff, and you don't want to do that. So yeah, let's start here on number 13. So just a few seconds, and wow. At the moment, I really can't tell which is better. I think this is even a little bit better than the Flitz, and you see it's also pretty fast. Maybe I need to try and make an attachment for the glove, for the microfiber glove on the rotary tool, and then you can use the Flitz in the same way. But damn, that's awesome. In the direct comparison, I would say this is a little bit shinier, but I have to see how it works after molding, and that's definitely my way to go now. So instead of going higher in grits, which is a lot of work, I keep 3000 grit as a good base. I mean, if you have a little bit more, you can always go that way. Okay, let's do a quick comparison between these two. I have to say, I didn't thought it would work that well. I read a lot on the internet of people working to 3000 grit using Flitz, and they're done. I really thought this would shine up the surface but still leave some small scratches or a little bit of dullness on the surface. So I thought I give it a try, and then I still can go up higher in grids and work my way to a little bit better smooth base and then do the polish. But I really don't see the need for this, so both methods work maybe a little bit further down in grids, but I guess 3000 grit is a good base to do this. Also, for beginners, I definitely recommend using the Flitz polishing method. You saw how easy it is, how fast it works, and there's no chance you can fail with that stuff because you have everything on the glove, so you apply it with your hands, and there's no chance to slip or something like that, so you ruin your stuff. Instead, with the rotary tool, you always have the chance that a corner catches and rips the die out of your hand, and then it flow around your workspace. But I guess with a little bit of practice, this will give a tiny bit better results. What I will also try is to find a way to attach a little piece of the glove to my rotary tool and try Flitz polish with the rotary tool. Maybe that speeds up the Flitz polishing method and gives it the tiny bit that is left to reach the polishing paste here. But still, I'm very impressed how good this stuff works. I used this for my dice before, and I didn't thought it would work that well on the resin. So this resin really, I think the resin printed dice have the big advantage in their really tough hardness they have. So the harder the material, the better it is to polish. So I guess on my epoxy dies, this stuff still works, but I really let them sit for about a week so they are fully hardened. Then this stuff works great. If they are freshly from the mold and they are still a little bit soft, then this stuff does nothing, or let's say not that what you want them to do. So you have a little bit of shine, but it's ugly. Yeah, I didn't thought I would come that far that quick here. So that's really all you need to do for polishing up your masters. I hope that helps. For that stuff, I didn't find any better explanations what this is. It's a polishing paste. There's not much written on it except for what you can use it. So I don't know what's inside of this stuff. I just see it's a creamy paste that uses some sort of grain and abrasive on the inside. So maybe toothpaste will work the same way. Just test it out, but really get yourself some Flitz and you're good to go. Hey folks, here's the little extra. I thought I have the micro mesh pads, so I put them out and I sanded my D20 up to 12,000 grit, which already delivers a nice result. Not as clear as with the polishing that I did on the test one, so I will definitely cut on time by sanding to 3000 grit and then do the polish. But if you don't want to do the polish and you have the micro mesh sanding paper, then you definitely can achieve a nice result just going to higher grids. Maybe I go to 4000 or 6000 and then do the polish. Maybe it's a little bit better, but I will compare it later and post it on my social media so you can see if it's worth to do all the extra sanding and then the polish or directly go to the polish. Okay, so now we're done and thanks for watching and I hope to see you on the next one. Happy dice making!